Let's make a Pinterest wall. I'm so excited, guys. Yo, when I tell you this makes me so happy. Anyway, I'm taking you to Tattoo City and we're working on this beautiful house. Oh my god, some of you are living in such beautiful houses. Like, what? Also, how clean is this? So she's working with white aesthetics, like curtains white, sheer white, TV stand white with just kidogo gold, seat white. What else? Carpet. Oh, has some little bit of shade white. Um, table white. Yo, it is white. We're working with white guys, and she was like, "Let's try and tone that kidogo too, just kidogo." And I was like, "Yo, this is just guys. I can't even do with this kind of white. I just can't." But anyway, when I tell you this house is going to look like a Pinterest house, don't even click out. Just stay here because it's going to be like a Pinterest house. So we decided to tone that down with a little bit of a gray panel, the 3D one. You're going to see just going to look like the real panel, but fortunately, actually, the one is fortunately, it is a wallpaper. So there's a 3D gray panel wallpaper. We are working with a UV board, which has a little bit of the gold, which is on the TV stand, just on the surface of the TV stand and the table, the living room table. And it has some little bit of gray, but it is white, very glossy, very cutesy, very demure. Oh my god. So at this point, I was actually waiting for Steve, who came late. Steve, you need to apologize. We were working with Steve this day. He's the one who's doing the UV board. I was like, yo, I had another training at around 2, which I had actually to postpone because we were late and I just could not make it. So yeah, so why am I even telling you these stories anyway? So I decided let me do the wallpaper. We were just doing the wall is when I tell you guys this wall is brilliant white. The paint in this house is brilliant white. So we were like, we're just going to do just a panel wallpaper on the side. Then we don't need to do the white. Now you can see how brilliant white that wall is. Can you tell? We are not going to do a white glossy wallpaper like normally I do, because most of you, I'm sure if you've watched me do UV boards, I normally do a panel, and then if I'm doing panel, that is, then the other piece I'll either do a glossy white wallpaper or it's just another wallpaper that the client wants. But the client was like, the white just remains because it is very brilliant white, as you can tell from this video right now. And yeah, so we did that part as the panel, and I was like, let's first do a UV board. We see whether this is enough panel, because sometimes you can't tell until the UV board has been installed. Sawa. By the way, panel wallpaper right now is on offer for 1,500 Kenya shillings per roll. Yeah, so I was done waiting for Steve to get here, and here he is. So first thing is to ensure that we stick this marine board. This is what holds the UV board. So we have to cut it because it's the same size as the UV board, which is 2.4 meters by 1.2 meters. So we had to resize that so that let me explain. This marine board is what we're going to put on the wall, and then we're going to put light all around it, the light that now glows out at night or whatever time you want to put it on. And then now it is going to be smaller than our UV board, slightly smaller, because we don't want it to pop out of the marine UV board, and we also don't want the lights to be so outside. We want the light to be slightly on the inside. So that's why we normally resize it. So that's what Steve has done. This thing has a lot of work, by the way. Nikiwambianga UV board will cost you that 5,000. Okay, hey, you too, because look at this work, guys. You'll spend almost a whole day here, and then you have to have the machinery. And I see Musumeno. I'm sure you've seen what Steve was using. A lot of machinery, a lot of expertise. You can't do it alone. You need support. Anyway, so here we are. We have to secure the UV board, which is what Steve have done. Now you can tell the lights have been installed. They are going around the marine board. Sawa. There's a difference between the marine board and the UV board. Sawa. Good. Anyway, so to secure lights, that light has a remote control, so you can control from wherever you're seated. Then after that, now we're about to stick the UV board. We use adhesive, which is what Steve is spreading out, and we're also going to spread it on the UV board. We realized that actually this UV board is too big, so we had to resize it also. So we resized it. The good thing with it is hata ukikata, this is already imekat already, tumetoa a whole piece from it. We realized the wall wasn't that big, so we resized it, because tungeweka yote ingekuwa imepita sana hii side, left and right side, so tulipunguza kidogo. The good thing is the pattern doesn't disappear. It won't look like it was resized. You won't even know you won't even know we have resized it because the cutting is very smooth. The edges that where Steve is holding right now is where we've cut, and you can't even tell. Anyway, the other thing is we need to ensure that the cable ya TV isionekane ingililie na uko ndani. So that's what they are doing. We're going to make a hole in between the UV board ndio hiyo cable ipitie. Anyway, there's a lot that comes into this thing, guys. A whole lot. A whole lot of work. I mean, seriously. Anyway, done. So now here we are. The other thing we will do, we left before doing because there was an electrician who niliacha afanye kazi is trunking to trunk the cable ya inaitwaje cable ya cable ya extension which is hanging there na cable ya the light behind it is going to be well trunked. But here we are. So we are just removing that paper. Look at how glossy that UV board is. Oh my god, I was so happy. The client was like, this is what my house has been missing. This is just what my house has been missing. Remember, guys, I told you I'm just doing a panel and then we see whether it's going to be enough. We realize it's too small. So yeah, decided let me add a few pieces ndio ingie ndani because we felt like it's too far away from we normally put it like almost not 3/4, not a half, and not all the way to half the wall. So I had to add, and actually my client is seated just in front of me, just so she can tell me how well she wants, where she wants it to be. So yeah, ndio to fix tuongeze hapa chini and then tuongeze juu so that the panel ingie ndani kidogo tu. Hey, when I tell you utawala, yani I am doing voiceover and I have to just keep stopping because of ndege. Anyway, so this is me doing adding a piece there because I wanted it to, the client wanted it to be more. I could also tell that we needed more of the panels. Tukaongeza tu kidogo, so let's see how that turns out, and then guys I'll be back to show you guys the after. How 3D this panel wallpaper is. Like what? Oh my god. Like inakanga, by the inakanga the real panel. Anyway, now adding the upper piece, lazima balance na ya chini because it needs to look like imekuja all the way from up all the way down. Remember, you had already put the UV board, so we just put a piece up there and a piece down here to balance that. Just so to add some more volume to the panels that we have because we thought ilikuwa kidogo sana. Ukiangalia chini now, you can actually tell it's now better than it was before. Anyway, did the upper part and this is the after. Wow. When I tell you guys, I took a photo of this. You're going to see at the end of this video. I took a photo of this and I was like, this is actually a Pinterest house. Like these are the houses you see on Pinterest. You're like, let me screenshot so that I can make my house look like this. Like what? How cute is this? Now I love this just kidogo touch of the gold that you have the marble or the marble. Oh my god, on the marble sheet, which really blends perfectly with also the top part of the table and the TV stand. And the other things is just the gray just broke everything down nicely, and then it matched perfectly with the UV board because there are shades of gray on the UV board. Then the side tables with the two flowers, perfecto, perfecto. Oh my god. Then the couch being white, everything just white. The aesthetics in this house, oh my god. She was like, this is what my house had been missing, and now I am good. I love also the fireplace on this TV stand. Really cutesy. Remember, this is Joy McCall Papers and Decor. If you want to get your wall looking like this, please look for that 5,000 Kenya shillings and call me. As long as you're within Nairobi, this will be your wall. The good thing with the UV board is next time you're moving to another house, we can actually move with it. We'll remove it and move and go and install to the house that you're moving to. Look at how glossy that is. How cutesy is this, guys? How beautiful is this? Anyway, 0712027807. I'm going to be leaving you with a clip of the entire house, the entire living area, sorry. So you can admire more, so that ukikaa hivi unajua, if I get this kidogo money, let me just be sending it to Fridah so I can secure my Pinterest wall. So I can have my house looking as cutesy as this. See you, and thank you so much for watching to the end. See you guys in my next video. Bye!